Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome once again to the Plod Project podcast, which will from here on out be known as the Plodcast. So welcome to episode 2. I hope you enjoyed the last one. I had fun making it, so I'm going to keep running with this, and hopefully you guys like it. If you do like what you hear, if you have any suggestions, if you have any requests, feel free to post them in my Facebook artist page group thing. If you didn't join that yet, please do. Just click like on the thing. I'll post the link periodically. And then you can stay up to date with when the next podcast is coming out, when the next stories and things, when the next shows are and stuff. And then I'm only advertising to people who actually give a damn, as opposed to putting it on my whole Facebook and, Plodcast, episode 2. This week, the poems that I chose, I actually have musical versions of. So as I sat down to record them, I was like, why am I doing this? Why don't I just give you guys the musical versions? So that's what's going to happen for a couple of the pieces. I did another 8-bit backtrack that I hope you'll enjoy. This one's a little bit shorter than last time, but that's okay. There'll probably be some surprises along the way. So anyway, let's get to it. This first poem is, again, I'm keeping with the positive motif, as it's a fresh year, fresh start for all of us. And I'll let the poem talk for itself. This is called Greatness.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have never ever been afraid to fail, but I've also never been quite sure how to define success. See, good is phenomenal when you've never heard of great, and I'm too impatient to wait for greatness, so I'm taking it. I'm redefining it and making it my own. Greatness. Greatness is stepping on stage with something to say in front of a room full of people waiting to be entertained. Greatness is making sense of obtuse phrases on these loose pages. Greatness is practicing so much that you live in your poems and they feel like home. And greatness is showing the world how well you know them. Greatness is stepping on stage under the spotlight, knowing if space is infinite in all directions, then right now, you're at the center of the universe. Greatness is facing and embracing the nerves that would strike you deer in headlight dumb. Greatness is bargaining with terror, accepting the terms and conditions of failure, failing, falling flat on your fucking face and getting up fresh to do it all over again tomorrow. Greatness is synonymous with satisfaction as long as you've done the best you can. And even if you do strike out, at least you had a pair of balls when you stepped up to the plate and you swung for the fence instead of just sitting on it. Greatness is keeping time with the tempo of your life, especially when the DJ doesn't play your song. Greatness is funneling your fucking frustration down the throat of anyone who tries to stand in your way. Greatness is breaking down the boundaries you've built in your own brain. Greatness is becoming more than you were while remaining who you are. Greatness is sacrificing. Greatness is not sacrificing. Greatness is not a goal. It's a statement. So make it, shout it, stand up and tell this world all about it, and then do it. Do it for all you're worth. Do it so you're better than every idiot who didn't, and be great. Even if you're only great at building memories, build them. Build a mantle for your stories. Treat them like trophies and use them to measure your success. If you care. Maybe you were never really looking for success. Maybe all you were looking for was greatness.
Sometimes I feel like Edgar Allan Poe wrote things specifically for me to rap them. Does that make sense? Maybe that's pompous. Probably. Either way, for this week's podcast, I decided to talk about The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. I found out that some of his stuff became public domain within the last couple of years, and The Raven was one of them, so I was like, yep, I'm going to rap that bad boy. The poem really reads like hip-hop to me, which is fantastic, makes it nice and easy to rap. And the beat for this song and the last song was provided by DJ Aram, Shane McDonald. He's a fantastic DJ from the Hamilton area. If you'd like more information on him, leave me a message and I'll put you in cahoots. What else? I guess that's about it. The Raven.
Once, upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, rapping at my chamber door. Only this, nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books or cease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. The silken sad uncertain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating to some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Only this, nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you here. I opened wide the door, darkness there, nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered and an echo murmured back the word Lenore. Merely this, nothing more. Back into my chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping louder than before. Surely said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance matey, not a minute stopped or statey, but with mane of lord and lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat. Nothing more. The ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be short and shaven, thou art set, are sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven sitting only on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, and on the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore. Nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling straight, I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and busting door. Then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim ungainly ghastly gaunted ominous bird of yore meant in croaking. Nevermore, this I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushions, velvet lining with the lamplight floating o'er, but the velvet violet lining with the lamplight floating o'er, she shall press. Nevermore than me thought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfall singled on the tufted floor. Whence I cried that God had lent me by these angels, he hath sent thee respite and nepenthe for the memories of Lenore. Quabble, quaff this kind of plenty and forget this lost Lenore, quoth the raven. Nevermore, prophets said I think of evil, prophets still a bird or devil, whether tempter, center, whether tempest toss thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on his home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven. Nevermore, prophets said I think of evil, prophets still a bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us and the God we both adore. Tell the soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, quoth the raven. Nevermore, be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend I shrieked of starting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the lie thy soul has spoken, leave thy loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door, take thy beak from out my heart, take thy form from off my door, quoth the raven. Nevermore, and the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted. Nevermore.
My podcast, my rules. Again, friends, a haiku. A controversy at the top of the staircase. Hashtag Babygate. All right, friends, before we get into the next piece, I'd like to talk about something that I'm doing this weekend. On Sunday, I'm going to something called Canadian Toy Con at the Holiday Inn in Burlington at, where's the address? I'm just looking at the website. I think it's 3063 South Service Road. Yeah, I think it costs $10 or something like that. It goes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, and it's just a toy show. You can buy anything you can think of. I don't know about you guys, but I really like looking at all those old toys from when we were kids, and just kind of feeling nostalgic for a couple of hours on a Sunday afternoon. It's well worth the $10, even if you don't buy anything. There's some deals there. The odds of you leaving empty-handed, I don't know, are pretty poor. But it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to go. Yeah, maybe I'll do a little write-up on it or a review or something like that. Maybe that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, before we get into the next piece, I just wanted to say that. Toy show, Sunday. Why not? So sometimes I do vocals a little bit for a punk band from St. Catharines called King and Academy. And they like to do a cover of Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. I don't know if you guys know that song. I think the band is called Das Racist. I might actually be wrong. I'm not sure. Anyway, Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. YouTube it. You'll find it. And it's kind of like a goofy party song, like in the spirit of LMFAO kind of thing, where they just repeat, I'm at the Pizza Hut. I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. But they would cover the song, and I didn't really have a part. Like, I just kind of thickened up what they had to say, and the song doesn't really have any lyrics other than those ones. So I wrote lyrics for that song, and I would like to share them with you now. Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. So as we established earlier, I've arrived at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. And I got a hunch. I'm gonna have T-Bell for lunch. I'm gonna get me a fry supreme and a cheesy gordita crunch. But oh, what's up? I could also get Pizza Hut, that double cheese and pepperoni with the deep fried crust. I could get both, yeah, then I'd really be living. It's gonna take me 15 minutes just to make a decision. Do I want beef? Or do I want chicken? Either way, I know that it's grilled to precision. Do I want meat lovers or like a Mediterranean? You stuff the crust. Either way, I ain't complaining, I can't decide if this is heaven or hell. All I know is that I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. They got a new promotion and I think it's real swell. They'll give you Taco Bell food served in a Dorito shell. If I get pizza, the price kinda sucks, but I'd get a second medium for just $5. No more dessert pizza, man, that's kind of a nut shot. I ate a family meal once, I got gut rot. This food is unacceptable for men, women, and kids, but my meal came with a bag of cinnamon twists. Cola so corrosive it could make a mountain shrink. Put it in a cup with a straw, bone fountain drink. I just eat until I'm sweaty and ashamed of myself. I can't help it, I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. I might get nachos, I might get chicken wings, I might get something that I never had before and try new things. All I know is I'm gonna get my food on and I'm gonna get a deal because I got a coupon. Caloric value, ha, for me to poop on. This food's a heart attack, but hey, I got a new song. I got the Taco Bell and got it to go because I can't look at the Pizza Hut menu no more, or I'll end up dipping pizza crust in cheese for nachos and stuffing the meat lovers inside of my tacos. No matter the decision, this will not end well if you're at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. And now, an ad from our corporate sponsor. Are you tired of TV shows with creative stories and solid writing?
Because you're an idiot.
Are you sick of giving a damn about characters written to be engaging and endearing?
You don't have an attention span.
Have you spent too much time on the edge of your seat? Well, get ready for Johnson. Coming this January to a network surviving solely on the merit of one semi-decent show it produced 15 years ago, it's Johnson. He's a no-nonsense cop or a doctor or some shit.
It doesn't matter.
He doesn't worry about money and his privilege goes unchecked. In fact, he has no flaws at all.
He's a hero.
Watch a has-been feature film actor flounder to jumpstart a failing career on the small screen. You'll probably watch it.
You're an idiot.
It's Johnson. He refuses to play by the rules all the way to the bank.
That doesn't make sense.
Johnson. His sidekick is a former child actor fresh from rehab.
It didn't work.
We're banking on the fact that you're impressed he's still alive and curious about how he looks now.
You are.
Johnson. Coming this January. Johnson.
You're an idiot.
Friends, before I leave you with the 8-bit backtrack, I need to push 2 events that are happening at the end of January, and I'll plug them again next week as well. The first one is the We Flip Table Slam that happens monthly and occasionally bi-monthly at Cuculligan's Pub in Mississauga. Basically what happens is 2 poets go up, they'll each read a poem, and the audience decides which one they like better. The winner moves on to the next round. So, very simple, very entertaining. It's free to get in. Cuculligan's makes a mean shepherd's pie. And they have beer. So, I don't know what else you need. Entertaining poetry, free, and beer. So do it. January 27th, Wednesday. The next event is called Punk Rock and Poetry Collide. It is a punk show mixed with a poetry show because poetry is punk rock and punk rock is poetry. The show is a pay-what-you-can show. It starts at 7 o'clock, and from what I understand, we're trying to finish it up by 11 o'clock, so if you have to work in the morning, it's not a huge deal. I'll be on around 10. The bands are Red Air, State of Expression, and the Mitabins, and they all have bios. I will post the event page in my group thing, so if you want more information, join my group and look at it there. The poets are myself, Scum Milk, and Yestefania. So it's going to be an amazing night, and we'll have some fun. Some punk rock, some poetry, also beer. What else? I guess that's it for that. So now I'm going to bring you the 8-bit backtrack. This time it's a little bit shorter than last time, but I had a lot of fun with this one. I decided to tackle everyone's favorite shooting game, Duckhunt. And this piece is called Actually, I had to blow into the cartridge to get it to work. I blew into the gray console as well for good measure. I pushed it into the slot and hit power. It fired up. I guess there was dust in the nodes. Immediately there was a decision to be made between hunting and plumbing. Hunting sounded far more interesting and seemed like a game that would have more depth. Actually, the opposite was true. I was a marksman, famous and feared, known only by my code name, Player One. I ventured deep into the woods armed with an F-class classic Ruger rifle in cobalt blue with a camo stock. Actually, I was armed with an orange laser light pistol and my boredom. The scenery was lush and the forest was thick. Actually, there was a tree and one bush. Solid colors, minimal detail. I camouflaged myself, wrapped in my surroundings. I was the shadow of stealth. Actually, I stood akimbo and large in a wide open field. I waited patiently for the hunt to begin. Actually, I took about 8 or 9 pot shots at the dog that I apparently brought. Finally, the ducks came. They flew by breakneck and brisk in a blur. Actually, they flew goofy and lethargic, crisscrossing the screen, almost begging to be plucked from the sky. 2 by 2, I shot them down in a fury of feathers and mayhem. It seemed like after each pair I shot dead, the next pair would speed up to provide a more difficult challenge. Actually, that was exactly the case. Eventually, I missed. Eventually, I emptied all 12 shots out of the chamber, and then I casually reloaded and continued hunting. Actually, I fired 3 shots and then watched helpless as the ducks all flew away. Seeing my sadness and perhaps even feeling the emotion, my dog was incredibly supportive as the screen flashed, "Game over." Actually, and that concludes this week's episode of the plodcast. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. As always, please follow me on Twitter at POEJOB, P-O-E-J-O-B. If you found this through Facebook, which you probably did, join my group. Go to the toy show Sunday at the Holiday Inn in Burlington. Come to the other 2 shows that I plugged. Read poetry, enjoy poetry, explore poetry, write poetry, smell poetry. I guess that's all I have to say. Stay tuned for next week. There's going to be more fun stuff, whatever I can come up with to keep you guys entertained. And the week after that is going to be a big one. I'm very excited to bring you King and Dragon. It's something that I put a lot of time and work in. And so far, the only people who have heard it are people who came to SummerSlam in Niagara in the summer. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. You guys are going to be blown away. So yeah, goodbye for now. Have a good week. Cheers.